As Africa's leading defense news portal, DefenceWeb aims to give you the latest updates on African defense, the South African National Defense Force, and the defense industry. Hi folks, welcome to the past week in defense. In this week's edition, global arms industry sales rise and the United States boosts Nigeria's maritime security with new surveillance equipment. In SANDF news, the Department of Defense explains its website absence, and military veterans seem to be creeping up the government's priority list. In industry news, Etion Create is making up for lost time due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Israel Shipyards delivers 2 Shaldag Fast Patrol boats to Senegal, and Protechnik expertise turn to sanitisers and disinfectants. In African defence news, global arms industry sales rise. Sales of arms and military services by the sector's largest 25 companies totaled $361 billion in 2019, 8.5% more than in 2018, according to new data from the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, SIPRI. The largest companies have a geographically diverse international presence. The new data from SIPRI's arms industry database shows with arms sales by the world's 25 largest arms producing and military service companies totaling $361 billion in 2019. This is an 8.5% increase in real terms over arms sales of the top 25 arms companies in 2018. In 2019, the top 5 arms companies were all US-based: Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, and General Dynamics. These 5 together registered $166 billion in annual arms sales. In total, 12 US companies appear in the top 25 for 2019, accounting for 61% of combined arms sales of the top 25. For the first time, a Middle Eastern firm appears in the top 25 ranking. Edge, based in United Arab Emirates, was created in 2019 from the merger of over 25 smaller companies. It ranks at number 22 and accounted for 1.3% of total arms sales of the top 25. US boosts Nigeria's maritime security with new surveillance equipment. The United States on the 11th of December donated a shipment of maritime security equipment worth $180,000 to the Nigerian Navy to upgrade the anti-piracy and nautical security functions of the country's Regional Maritime Awareness Capability, RMAC. The donation comprises a selection of sensors and radars, communications and networking equipment, thermal imaging cameras and software, which have been integrated to improve the Nigerian Navy capacity to track and counter maritime threats through its RMAC, the US Embassy in Lagos said. Handing over the consignment during a ceremony at the Nigerian Naval Station Beecroft, US Consul General Claire Pierangelo highlighted the US government's continued support of Nigeria's maritime security. And in SANDF news, DoD explains website absence. The Department of Defense website is one of the National Defense Force's prime tools for communicating with its various publics, from South African citizens in general to more specific audiences, including parliamentarians, defense attaches, and the media. It has not been accessible for some time due to the contractual arrangements going awry. The SA National Defense Force Director, Corporate Communications, Brigadier General Mafi Ngobozi, confirmed to DefenceWeb the official Department of Defense website is offline. The site went offline as a result of the expiry of a contract between the DoD and the State Information Technology Agency at the end of September 2020, which was being administered on a month-to-month basis until a decision was taken to source a new Internet Service Provider, ISP. A new contract with the newly appointed ISP was intended to commence in December 2020, but due to unforeseen internal process that led to protracted delays, the new ISP was unable to commence providing the DoD with website support. The decision to terminate the month-to-month contract with the SRTA was to adhere to financial compliance by ensuring that there was only one ISP paid during the transition/handover from the one ISP to the next. The one-star general's response to a DefenceWeb inquiry reads, it adds, the DoD website will be back online as soon as possible without giving a date. Are military veterans creeping up government's priority list? Indications are government, not only in the form of its designated national department, is knuckling down to improve the lot of South Africa's military veterans. Heading the indicators is Deputy President David Mabuza being picked by his boss, President Cyril Ramaphosa, as the go-to man for old soldiers. Number 2 on the action list for military veterans came from Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Defence and Military Veterans, PCDMV. The committee, under the guidance of Chair Cyril Klauber, gave the Department of Military Veterans, DMV, 3 months to get the long-awaited veterans database in order, up and running, and it will be checking on progress. Add to these developments the announcement by Defence and Military Veterans Minister Nosiviwe Mapisa-Ngakula that the DMV now has a separate vote of its own from the Department of Defence for the first time since its establishment on the 1st of April 2010. She penned these words in her introductory remarks to the 2019/2020 annual report tabled in Parliament in November. She also made mention of the Veterans Database, writing the DMV is still working hard with all its stakeholders in fast-tracking the long overdue creation of a secured, reliable, and credible national military veterans database. As far as the own votes is concerned, a reliable source close to Parliament told Defense Web he did not see the DMV becoming a standalone department. And in industry news, Etion Create making up for lost time. Etion Create is making efforts to catch up on time lost caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, continuing with delivering on its many orders and proceed with business expansion. Toby van Loggerenberg, Executive Manager, Business Development at Etion Create, told Defense Web that the company's main priority is to deliver on orders after having lost the whole of April and some of May/June due to the level 5 coronavirus lockdown restrictions. We have to catch up. We have lots of orders we still have to deliver on, he said. The COVID-19 pandemic saw Etion Create manufacture Cube 25 non-invasive ventilators under license from the German original equipment manufacturer JFR Medical Instruments. The first round of production has concluded and the company has an agreement with the local distributor on sales with interest from the Southern African region and beyond. Once we've reached sufficient momentum, we may look at other medical items, Van Loggerenberg said, as Etion Create diverses its product portfolio. Travel restrictions brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic had little impact on sales efforts, and Etion Create is busy finalizing contracts with Middle Eastern clients, particularly for its Cheetah Nav navigation system for light military vehicles. Van Loggerenberg said that the display component of Cheetah Nav is being spun off as a separate product in response to customer requests. Israel Shipyards delivers 2 Shaldag Fast Patrol boats to Senegal. Israel Shipyard has confirmed the delivery of 2 of 4 Shaldag Fast Patrol boats to fulfill an order from the Senegalese Navy. The company made the announcement in November. A representative told Naval News that the 2 boats, a Shaldag Mark II and a Shaldag Mark V, Kachuane and Lac Redba respectively, were delivered to Senegal in November. Ship tracking data shows the delivery vessel Blue Note arrived in Dakar on the 26th of November and departed the following day. Protechnik expertise turned to sanitizers and disinfectants. Turning swords into plowshares could be ascribed to what Arms Corps Defense Institute Protechnik Laboratories did when the coronavirus pandemic hit South Africa. The Centurion-based operation is, according to Arms Corps, one of the group of Defense Science and Technology Institutes within Arms Corps Defense Institutes. It conducts project work in the fields of chemical and biological defense on behalf of the SA National Defense Force. It also provides technical support under contract to the SA Council for the non-proliferation of weapons of mass destruction on technical aspects related to implementation of the Chemical Weapons Convention. An area of specialization is protection of personnel in chemically hazardous environments, making much sense when COVID-19 and the myriad of regulations to prevent its spread hit South Africa in March, and a decision to produce hand sanitizers and surface disinfectants first. The decision came in the wake of a surge in demand for personal protective equipment. Protechnik took an initiative to use the scientific expertise at their disposal to develop, test, evaluate, and produce hand sanitizers and surface disinfectants. Both products were initially available for use at Arms Corps facilities and government entities. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, our daily and weekly newsletter, and our other social media platforms if you enjoyed the webcast. Thank you for listening. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week.